What's up guys, Magic Navs here, and in today's video you're watching part 4 of my AO Tennis 2 gameplay as Nick Kyrgios versus Daniil Medvedev. And hopefully you guys are doing well and safe. Things here in Ontario, Canada have gotten a little bit better. I mean, we have the indoor recreation reopened again finally with 50% capacity, so it includes my the airsoft range where I work, so I'll be able to work on weekends again, like fully. I mean, we were kind of I was working like one day a week, just for retail and stuff like that, but now I can actually work like on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, not just Sunday, so that was kind of nice. Today, we are having the debate. Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic. Who is the GOAT? It's a really hard question because they are indeed the big three. We are, without a doubt, living in the greatest era of tennis right now. Because combined, okay, these three players have in total 61 majors currently. Okay, now if you've watched my previous commentary, you'll know that I just did a video talking about Rafael Nadal winning his 21st major and his second Australian Open, which was the first one since 2009, and so it was pretty crazy. It was a big important one for him. He tried so many times in the past to win his second Australian Open back in 2012 and in 2017, but he fell short to Djokovic and Federer. And so he finally pulled it off because for a couple sort of lucky reasons. For one, Djokovic wasn't allowed to play, which we all know what happened there. And Federer was injured, so we didn't get to see him play because he's still trying to make a comeback for later this year. Hopefully by Wimbledon we'll get to see him. So yeah, and so now when you're comparing these players, right, Nadal is without a doubt the king of clay. He's won the French Open 13 times now, more than any other player has won any major. Like right now, he is the only player to win a major like 10 or more times, right? Djokovic is very close. He has 9, so there's a good chance he could win the Australian Open one more time to hit 10. Federer is the king of grass. He's won Wimbledon 8 times, all-time record. Djokovic, he is the king of hardcourt. He is the all-time record holder for the Australian Open 9 times. Okay, so each of these players have their respective majors in which they're dominant in. Now, as far as the U.S. Open, in case you're wondering, currently Federer is tied with Sampras, at least for the players from the Open era. So it's still Federer's ground per se, at least comparing to the three of them, but he hasn't won the U.S. Open since 2008. He had an amazing run from I think it was from 2003 to 2008, right, or 2004 to 2008, something like that. So it's pretty crazy. So now, when you compare them, right, Federer is the oldest of these three. He is near the end of his career now. He's 40 years old. He's got 20 majors. The chance of him, being able to compete at the same level that he used to be when he was, 30 or whatever, that's definitely not happening anymore. It's pretty much the same story like Tiger Woods and stuff like that. He's just not going to be able to compete at the same level like he used to, and put up a good fight against Djokovic and Nadal. Now, he could get lucky. I really do feel like he could potentially, as long as he's staying healthy enough and fit enough, he could possibly win one more major, maybe two, but that's it. He's not gonna be the dominant player that he used to be 5-10 years ago, right? Nadal, who is currently 35, he definitely has a couple more years left. Unfortunately, with his playing style, because he's so aggressive, he might only have a couple years left as far as being able to play, without injury issues, because Nadal does unfortunately have a lot of injury issues. He definitely can win at least a few more majors. With the French Open coming up, then it does the next major, he's very likely going to win his 14th French Open and increase his major lead by 2. Okay, so you can make the argument, just because Nadal has won 13 French Opens, that doesn't necessarily make him the greatest of all time. Djokovic, I mean, because he was dominant, he almost completed the calendar slam, which unfortunately was stopped by Daniil Medvedev. He still has a couple years. He's 34 right now, so he definitely has a couple years. He'll win probably a Wimbledon, a U.S. Open, and probably even definitely Australian Open, right? So he'll definitely have a couple more majors to win. So it's definitely, I do feel that that Nadal will probably win at least three or so more majors, and mostly being at French Open. Djokovic will probably win a couple, and when you compare them head to head, Djokovic is definitely the strongest of the pack, because right now he is in the lead, facing both of them, facing both Nadal and Federer. Now, when it comes to Nadal facing Federer, Nadal has the lead against Federer. So if you're comparing them, just the three of them alone, Djokovic has the advantage for sure. He's gotten a lot stronger in the last few years, so he definitely has the upper hand as far as consistency in being able to cater to his strengths whenever he plays against Nadal and Federer. Even when facing Nadal on Nadal's turf, he was one of the few players to actually beat Nadal in the French Open. Which, I mean, if you know, last year he actually beat Nadal in the semifinal to eventually win the French Open, which was astonishing. So, I mean, kudos to him, right? He was just unstoppable that year almost, until he got to the Olympics and the U.S. Open. We all know what happened there. Now, given the fact, obviously, because Djokovic is still not vaccinated, there are reports, I'm not 100% sure yet, that he actually will get vaccinated. He's still banned from being able to even play the French Open right now, because of the new law that they passed in France, that anyone outside of the country, they won't be allowed to enter in. So he basically has to get vaccinated if he really intends on trying to keep winning more majors and stuff. He has no choice at this point, right? What's more important to him, right? So right now, Nadal definitely has a bit of an advantage right now, because we don't know what's going to happen with Djokovic. Federer is definitely not going to be around for the French Open. Hopefully he's around for Wimbledon, but his winning chances are pretty slim right now, to say the least. So, it's sad to say, but it is what it is. Now, even in terms of how long each of them were world number one, Djokovic actually has the longest record for holding the number one spot in the world. Federer is second to that, and then Nadal is third. Nadal as good as he is, unfortunately, because of his injury records, it's not allowed him to hold the number one spot for a significantly long time. So, what can you do at that point, right? So it is what it is. And so you could argue that, overall right now, at least, even though Nadal is in the lead with Grand Slam wins by 1, he's not quite the GOAT yet. you could argue that Djokovic is the GOAT still because of his consistency as far as being able to beat Nadal and Federer, and given the fact that he has had a longer duration of being world number one. That said, you could also make the argument that, you know, Nadal is just is just relentless. He knows how to just keep winning. It doesn't matter what's a surface, even though he will always keep winning the French Open because that is the surface. But then you can also say that Federer, you know, without Federer, none of these two guys would have existed. Without Federer, it wouldn't have forced Djokovic and Nadal to push themselves to really become one of the greatest all time. So, I mean, you could just make the argument that Federer truly is the greatest of all time just because of how he's changed the game, how he's brought in more attention to the game and stuff like that. As of right now, though, okay, I will have to probably, even though, you know, Djokovic is not my favorite player, and in fact I don't even like him that much. You know what, Djokovic still has a bit of a lead right now, but if Nadal can win the French Open again and possibly another major this year, maybe Wimbledon or the US Open, I would definitely give the GOAT trophy to Nadal for now. Alright, but I would definitely want to put Federer as, you know, the true GOAT per se, at least as far as just bringing popularity to the sport. That's how I would put it. Djokovic, you know, we probably wouldn't remember him as well as Nadal and Federer for many reasons. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. This is a long commentary, but I hope you you know, leave your thoughts below. Who do you think's the GOAT out of all these three? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos. Till next time, peace out.
Advantage mid. Game.